G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to get out. The wind has just been blowing pretty much constantly and it's been sort of switching around, so one coast is not going flat while the other one's going rough. They're both just staying rough. We've had a stack of rain too, so there's been a couple of floods. Yeah, it's pretty dirty out there and everything, so yeah, I've kind of just been chilling out at home. I've been focusing on making up some good veggie gardens, getting veggies in, and I've actually also bought a sawmill and I'm starting to mill up all my pine trees. I want to build some cabins with that timber, so it's been pretty good progress on the projects at home. But yeah, it means I haven't been able to get out and make a video for you guys, but fortunately I've got a few stashed away because I thought I was going to be in America now and I wanted some NZ content. So this is one of those videos. We're going to jump back in time to the start of this year, and it's a bit of a sad one actually. One of my mate Chris's mates, his mum had just passed away, so we wanted to go out, get a decent kai for her tangi. So we got a group of people together and headed off around the reef. All right, good morning guys. It's another beautiful day. And we're just about to head around the reef for a quick little dive. We're diving for a tangi today, so we've got a good group of people and hoping to really load up. So we'll get around the reef and go for a swim. Alright, we're around at the spot. Cool little drive around the reef. Everyone's fizzing to get in, it looks pretty nice. Alright, let's do this thing. What do we reckon, guys? We are out there. Welcome back to the underwater world, everyone. I was super glad to be in the water. This dive was filmed in the middle of summer. It was a really hot day, so just getting in felt amazing. But we're on our way out and I found this crack, had a couple of crayfish in it and managed to get a pretty good grab to this one here. Then I threw my hand in the crack and tried to grab another one. But in the process of grabbing the first one, they'd all backed deep into the hole, so we ended up just heading to the surface with one I already had. And it's a pretty reasonable crayfish, so I don't need to measure it, I can just go straight in the bag. We then headed out. We're headed out to a drop-off and we had to make it past the breakers, so it was a pretty tough swim to make it out through the waves, so a bit bigger than what we normally get when we're diving here. We found the area that we wanted to dive, and this is a drop-off. It's got lots of cracks and crevices for crayfish to hide, and we normally find quite a few out here. And I'd found this patch of crayfish here and dropped my gun down, went back to the surface, had a breathe up, came back down and grabbed this crayfish. And then I saw this crayfish here, but because I already had one crayfish and it looked like it was going to be tricky to get out, I decided I'd go back to the surface and come back down on the next dive. Now, this crayfish was quite small, so I had a measure and it was actually undersized. We had a permit to gather crayfish because we were gathering for a tangi. It let us gather more than what we normally allowed to take, but they still had to be of legal size. Back down to try and get that crayfish I saw on the previous dive, and it's worked its way back into the crack and wedged itself there. So I grab it and I try and pull it out. I have to sort of wriggle it back and forth, and I'm pulling it every which way trying to get it out, but I just can't quite seem to get it out. So what I actually do is let it go and then grab it with my right hand, and I finally managed to get it out, and it's pretty reasonable sized crayfish, this one. Yeah, no need to measure that one. Back down again, I get this one here. It's a pretty easy grab. And another good sized crayfish that I don't need to measure. Now I find this crack that's got heaps of crayfish in it, so I go along and I'm just trying to pick the good sized ones. I managed to grab a couple here. I probably should have managed to grab more, but got beaten on a couple of them, but there's plenty in there.
You got one? Fuck, there's a big ledge down there. Is that the hole I've just got these two out of? Fuck. There's heaps of crays there. Yeah. There's one real big boy too. Yeah. Oh, at least you got one. Is it going to be legal? Is it a male or a female? Female. Ooh, she'll be on the line. Might be legal. Hopefully.
My two crayfish were pretty decent size, so there was absolutely no need to measure them. So I just chucked them straight in the bag and then grabbed the measure, and we measured Chris's one. And yep, it just made it, so there's another one for the bag.
Legal house, bro, well done.
Back down I go again, and you can see the cracks all silted up from us going through there and pulling crayfish out of it. But I just carry on along the crack and find these ones just parked up in here. We've got this nice big one here, and I get a pretty easy grab for that. And I've still got plenty of breath, so I managed to grab another one. No need to measure that big boy. And then as I go to grab the second one, it almost slips away from me, but I just catch it before it takes off. And I decide I better give this one a measure, but ends up being easily legal. Back down there again, and there is still crayfish in that crack. So yeah, get stuck into them. Grab the first one, easy as. Tuck that one under my arm. And then managed to get a grab on a second one. Puts up a little bit more of a struggle, but managed to get it out as well. Then I roll over the rock and I see these two crayfish here. Have a go at the first one and miss it, but managed to get a hand to the second one. And it gives me a bit of a battle, but I get it out in the end. Chris is at the bag and he sees me coming with crayfish, so he opens it up for me. And I chuck my two in, but she hasn't seen the one that I've got tucked under my arm. I'll have to alert him to the fact that I've got another one. Down there again, and I'm grabbing the last one that I saw at the end of that last dive. And it's a bit of a battle, but I make it in the end. The bag is starting to get quite full, so it's starting to get a little bit of a juggle to actually fit the crayfish in there. I'll finally get that sorted, and then Chris swims up with another couple. He's managed his first ever 2 crayfish on one breath. And he nearly loses this one, but manages to get a hand to it just before it takes off.
Yeah. Are you cut up or?
No, just a little bit.
Oh yeah. We're probably only going to get another couple in there, eh?
Yeah.
And speaking of another couple, it's not long before I find more crayfish. And it doesn't take me long to grab another couple. So I go to put this first crayfish in the bag, and you'll notice that one of them just sneakily sneaks out and takes off. I don't even bother trying to chase it down. I know I've got 2 to fit in there, and it's going to be a real battle to try and get the third one in as well. I've pretty much made up my mind that we're done at this point. We hadn't got as many crayfish as we were allowed on our permit, but Chris had actually taken a catch bag as well and then lost it going through the surf on the way out, so we only had my catch bag and we were pretty much right at the limit of what it could hold.
Your spear gun's come off. So you've lost your spear gun as well.
Yeah, it'll be done here.
Where do you want me to look for it to hold this bag shut? I just lost one.
Oh, true.
The bag's too full. Did you have it jammed in a crack?
That was just open. It's just pretty, it'll be just down here somewhere.
By mine.
Just to the right of it. So just feel it, probably just over there somewhere.
So I headed down to look for Chris's spear gun, and I really didn't have too much hope. The water wasn't particularly clean, we couldn't see the bottom from the surface. The only information I had to go on was what he'd said about it being next to my gun. So I dropped down my rope and started looking around. In my mind I was thinking, I'm never going to find this. I could look for this for ages and ages, but I just persevered, carried on looking, and sure enough, there it was, just sitting there.
I wonder how that came off. Oh, that shouldn't have come off. I've never had a shark clip come off.
And then it was time to make our way back through the surf. This was a little bit tricky because I was actually holding the catch bag and holding it shut. I didn't want one of these waves to hit the catch bag and open it up and end up losing all our crayfish. All right, we're back. You got to check this out. We got a bag full of crays. Absolutely chock-a-block. Chris got his first double. Pretty happy about that, eh?
Yep, stoked.
And a mangled hand because he was operating on only one glove. And the crays will do that to you, but yeah. Awesome dive. Plenty of crays, as there always is there. And yeah, what else to say? What an awesome dive that was. Sort of pretty sad circumstance that brought it about, but man, it was a cool dive. But yeah, that's all I've got for you for now. Let me know if you'd like to actually see some of the milling and gardening stuff that I've been doing. I'm kind of half thinking about making another channel that sort of covers all of that sort of stuff that I'm getting up to at home. But yeah, other than that, I'll say thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.